Hey there. If you've been watching our Point Well Taken podcast, first of all, thank you very much. Tom and I can't tell you how much we really appreciate it. We're having fun with it, and we've learned so much from the guests that we've had, from folks that we knew and we've known, but so we're looking forward to talking with some folks too coming up that we don't know as well, and we're going to learn even more. But our plan, as you can see, this is not the way we usually open. Usually it's the two of us on camera, and we get caught up after a week of not having spoken much through our busy lives, and use that as an opportunity to get caught up. We might touch on an issue here and there that has affected one or both of us. And then we get into talking with a guest, and so that was the plan this week, to finally talk with Beth Markell. Excuse me. And we made that happen after she was going to be one of the very first guests, but she's been battling some health issues, which she did talk about here at a surface level. We're encouraged by seeing her progress, and she also took a lot of time out she has a retail business during one of the busiest times of year. So all that went great until after our first 40-minute session between Tom and me, and I think it's something I did, quite honestly. We hit a button and ended up not saving that portion. But we'll have her on again. However, we do have a lot with Beth that you are about to see. And in a weird way, maybe this works out better because it's a special episode. I'm not afraid to say that, because Tom takes the lead in asking Jim, Olsen, Beth, and me, the three of us, all that went down last year in making the book, but how Jim and Beth and others, how they led the effort to get me back to camp after 21 years. And I think I adequately talk about it in the book, but I didn't. There are a lot of details that you won't know from just reading the book until you hear what you're about to hear. And again, Tom did a great job of asking our individual memories and collective memories. So it's special. And there's video that of first of all, the trip back in August of 23, and then where I came back alone, and then in October when my whole family, including mom and dad, came back. Never before seen video that you'll only find right here on this episode. We might release it later when we put it on YouTube, but for right now, this is the only place you can find it. I really hope you enjoy it. If you're watching this in the days after its release, you'll know it's Christmas time, so it feels like a special time to release this information. But even if you're watching it way after that, I hope it fills in a lot of gaps for you, connects the dots. And again, thank you so much for watching. We have a lot more to come on, and have a good Christmas and enjoy this episode. Thanks.
And say that again. Jim was saying it's like being a celebrity.
Yeah, and I'm back on a famous talk show. I'm so honored.
Famous in a very small circle, sure.
I did find one more that I just have to share.
Oh my God. Wow. Look at my little grease. Oh, you look good, Beth. I feel like greasy hair, and I'm wearing a Journey t-shirt. Those
you're wearing, is it Journey?
I think so.
I'll check. I think it's a Rush t-shirt.
All right.
Better. Much better.
A little more credibility there.
I think it might.
Love it.
If my brother-in-law sees it, he'll know automatically
right away
if it's a Rush t-shirt.
Yeah. So, Jimmy, well, thanks. Yeah, we've been talking to Beth for the last 40 minutes or so. Barely scratched the surface, as you know. Like her campus, we were going to have Beth. You were our first guest, Jim, and we were going to have Beth on right as first. We had a little 1A situation. You guys can debate that, but
oh no,
yeah.
The boat boy connection always comes first.
I was going to say something to that effect. I mean,
all right.
There's ladies first, but barge captains
See, well, it's still up in the air then.
Hey,
Yeah.
But as timing would have it,
it's all good.
yeah, it's all good. As we're watching this in real time, for folks that are watching it now, it's Christmas time. It's a special time, and I have never known when it would be best to kind of Beth and Jim, I'm inviting you right now to kind of take us back to the early book project. Remember, we just called it a project. I'm really going back to I was so careful with everything, and now it's almost embarrassing because when I see how beautifully things played out, I just should have trusted both of you more to know that I didn't have to be so careful. But here we are, it's Christmas time, and I just want to kind of invite you to both talk about how all of this unfolded and how, honestly, Jim and Beth, we really wouldn't be here having this podcast if not for your efforts.
Yeah.
Tom and I were always going to do something, okay? But it was probably never going to be this camp centric, if not, for what you did. And I'm about to show, video and pictures for the first time of, when I went up there, but there, like, how far have we come?
I think we should do this.
Oh man.
We're going to read a little bit from the book, Don.
Okay.
We're going to show your video, it's about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I think we should talk about how you got there. And I'm going to be the interviewer for the three of you because I think the three of you have a common story here.
I appreciate
it. I want to dig into kind of some of the emotions that surfaced through the whole process because, I think it'd be fun if we watched Don cry. That'd be fun for me. Just kidding. Let's take a look.
We can make that. We could make that happen.
Story time with Don. Don, why don't you?
Where is? No, it's on. It's on.
You want to read through this?
Okay.
This is chapter 18, titled "The Step." Right?
Yeah. All right. It was a simple sequence of acts: parking a vehicle, turning off the ignition, opening the door, and stepping out. But for me, on Thursday afternoon, August 24th, 2023, this routine held a special significance. When my feet hit the pavement, I asked Jim Olsen to look down at my shoes. With a concerned, quizzical look, he asked, "Uh-oh, what'd you step in?" I replied, "Jim, I just stepped foot onto camp property for the first time in 21 years. Relieved, he grinned and said, "Let's go. Beth has arranged for you to see a bunch of stuff before the 4 o'clock forum." I will pause there. I'm getting ahead of myself, but when we went back there this summer, Beth, you had the presence of mind as after our family had been there for the Sunday service, you came and met us at the cars, and you and Jim went over. We were in that parking lot, but you took it a step further and went into the place in the parking lot and stepped there and said, "Hey, right here is the exact place we should paint it or something." So anyway,
I wished I had chalk with me.
chalk. That's what you said.
So let's watch this video. I think this is capturing that actual day, Don.
Yeah, not that moment because I was like,
yeah.
So I got of what I experienced that day. What I videoed is probably in time 5% of it, but of that 5%, I got some pretty significant stuff. So yes.
Also in this video is a second visit with family.
Right. And this is the only place you're gonna find it right here.
Yeah.
It's in this interview right now. So yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna stop share just for a second and make sure I have the sound on. I didn't.
Some of the sound is relevant.
Yeah. Got it. So
Called you from the point.
Sound is on now. So Don, you're going to narrate some of this. I think we'll just listen in, make our comments at the end because I think you know what's in the video. Certain
Sure.
parts of it we do want to hear, so hopefully they come across on the video. All right.
We could release it later in a way, but right now this is raw, and I can't wait for really just three of you to see it.
Let's watch. We know that those people. There you are.
Miniature golf course.
The big above ground storage tank for the gas.
Wow, this is wild. This is wild. It's still oh, this is big. I can't believe how little this has changed. Oh boy.
I'm coming back here just because.
I feel like there should be Friday the 13th music. You almost can't believe it.
And now.
Oh, okay. Well, they ripped the bathroom out, but still, it's the same guts to the building.
Now it's floating.
The bath. Oh no.
Okay, hold on. Hit pause here, Tom.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
You can hear the sound. The sound's
Yeah,
coming?
yeah. The sound is good.
Okay.
Well done. And by the way, the video that you just saw, the point, I had the presence of mind to send it to you that day.
Yes, you did.
Okay, so what's happening here is David, the guy that took us in the golf cart,
Dave Palsang.
Dave Pelsang. Okay, so it's almost, I had this one day that you took months to convince me to do. Okay, and we get there, and then what are we going to do? We went to the teepee first, which I don't have video of. We went to Beth's. You were in the place formerly
The new Larson Lodge.
Yep, and it was awesome. We looked over the porch, saw the beach. Where do you want to go? I said the point. We went to the point. That's what you just saw. Then we only had X amount of time before the 4 o'clock forum. So we went up to around the Comanche tennis courts. We saw Jim's old stomping ground and the trailer park, right?
Mhm.
And we went up to Boys Park. Then we came back down to the back of the auditorium, which is where we are now. So I get my video camera out here. Now, as we get off the golf cart, Jim and I got off the golf cart. Beth was still in it with David, and you guys hit like a
Sign.
post or something.
He hit the sign.
You hit the sign.
Probably said no golf carts beyond this point is what I think it said.
Yeah, now we know why. So I pointed it up and showed you, and then I come back to us going to the back of the auditorium, and what you're about to see and hear is maybe one of the most impactful things of anything that happened during my whole experience there. But now we're there. So yeah, here we go.
you saved it.
You're
I was
walking.
about to. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if we could pause right there.
The acoustics of the auditorium.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's almost as if I didn't know any better, what happened there was Jim and Beth wanted me to have a very impactful experience at camp, to have it parlay to my family coming back and everything. And they were fairly certain that things were going well, but just in case it wasn't, we needed more, they were like, okay, we're headed to the auditorium. Cue up whatever you can, the best.
Maybe something like "Great is your
Yeah.
faithfulness."
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, we're about to come in. Have the band start it now.
Yeah. Maybe some really poignant strings. Yeah, that's amazing.
You did ask me. You did turn around and ask me if we planned that.
I did. Oh yeah, and I
And
put that in the
through-
book, and I think I only explained it in the book adequately, but there's no way I could possibly describe the emotions that
Yeah.
were happening at that moment to walk it. Yeah, wow. Anyway,
It
No,
was
we
so
were.
powerful.
I think we were all in tears.
Yeah, I don't know.
Couldn't have been scripted better.
We were all in sort of tears because that wasn't the regular camp music staff. That happened to be the end of the summer, the last week, the Koinonia project that comes from Rochester to take over the last week so that the music staff can go back to their colleges and things. So that was like a random practice that normally probably wouldn't have been there.
Random. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Ken and I
Random,
project.
yeah.
They've been playing when the season's over, and even in the off season. Yeah.
Yep.
That was so powerful. We couldn't have planned that any better.
So Don,
We did.
set up the rest of this. I think from here we're looking at your family now.
yeah. Go ahead, Beth.
I actually, before you get to that part, I'll preface when your parents left, philosophical reasons, whatever. Jimmy and I have been hanging for a long time, and there was an emptiness. That there was definitely a hole where the Purdy family, for us especially, it was missing, and so that had been on our hearts for a long time. And I will tell you, it was at Mike Ballman's mom's funeral when Earl and you and Jimmy and I were all together, probably for the first time. I mean, we've been together separately, but not necessarily all together. And I looked at Jimmy and kind of said, "Oh my gosh, dude, we're getting old." And I said, that means Joanne and Don are a little bit older than us, not much, but a little. And so there was like an urgency that happened at that funeral that we just kind of decided we were going to pray about it and see if there was anything that God would have us do to fill that hole and to create some avenue. We're really nobody. People know who we are, and we're at camp a lot, but we don't carry any pull. So we just kind of left it to the Lord, that we kind of promised each other that if the avenue showed up, we were going to go down it. And so that made us bug you for all those months. And so that was phase one of the fact that Don even set foot through the gates.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something, Don, that we've never talked about. I talked with Lori about this over dinner tonight. When this was 2002, when your parents left, right? That was 2002.
Yeah, 2002.
So I asked Lori tonight, how old were our kids in 2002? And they were 3, 5, 7, and 9, right? Pretty young, but a pretty good age to go to camp. But we chose not to. It didn't feel like it felt like that would be, I don't know, unfaithful to you as a friend to go, which that was our decision. That's something to say about camp. But I feel like part of our kids have never experienced camp, right? Your kids have never experienced it till this day that we're about to see. And that's a loss. That's just a loss that I've had to deal with. It's such a big part of who I am. And I think I'm not alone. There's probably a lot of people who made that same type of decision to not attend camp, based on your parents' decision to leave as well. So it's great. This has a lot broader impact probably than you're aware of. Of course, the biggest impact is to your family, but the other three people on this call have all been impacted by this restoration. It's fantastic.
Well, Tom, what you just said, I appreciate, but the fact that Jim and Beth have also been have had such a strong connection to our family, yet have still continued to be there all those years and see the ups and downs that have happened, and have felt led to see the connection, what happened over the past couple of years, to not only be part of it, but to lead it. I just, with everything that's happened, I just pray that any lost time, Grandpa always said God is the perfect calendar. And for our family, there was a 21-year gap, which feels like it's been closed. Time is in His hands, the way He wants to have it happen for us. So,
well
said. Hard to even.
Yeah, Don, and the Lord's calendar is perfect. I say that so many times.
Perfect.
And, another sequence of events following Mrs. Ballman's funeral, where we realized, hey, is there going to be any hope here for, getting your family back into camp? So in the couple years past COVID, Beth and I were attending several game nights at the Rumsey's in the off season and during the summers too. And that's about, I think, the time that Jim Rumsey gave us a little bit of intel about camp in conversation that led us to believe there's, now a real progressive shift in camp's leadership to celebrate its history and specifically the legacy of the Purdy family. So that was just a huge encouragement leading up to summer of 2023, when we started. Well, you already had your book in the works, and it was just really the synergy of all these events coming together. It was your book, and also gave us a chance to have the 4:00 forum at camp, just like Betty Frere used to host. And wow, what a great coinciding number of events here that gave us all the sense that this was God's plan to welcome back your family to camp.
Let's get through the video, and then I'm gonna ask the questions to hopefully get everyone to cry. All right.
Okay. So this is Jim. If
this is the dock install.
Yes. This is Jim inviting us to come help. And this is my son-in-law and
not too much different there.
First time ever at camp. This is their first time ever there. This is their first experience.
It was so cold.
The Gorton's fisherman.
There we go. Put his hand this way. I think you might.
The island.
I don't know how deep you want to go.
Jim doing some dance moves.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Hey, Jim, say hi.
Hey, Tom.
All right, so if you pause it here.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. That was the morning. Hey, Tom. That was the morning. So that was a huge step. And Jim, what you did to invite me and Tyler and Connor to come do the point work made us feel like accepting a dinner invitation at camp would have been like kind of worth it, or not worth it as much as
justified. Yeah,
which Beth
right.
set up the table for us at the dining hall that night, and I told my parents, yeah, we'll do that in the morning, and then at night the whole family can go back for dinner. But before that, we're gonna maybe tour camp, and that was what you're about to see. So that's us. That's Dad going.
Yeah, that's the better because Anna said it wasn't a good. Yes. Okay. And I'll get this. No.
Now, are they setting up for the picture that's in your book?
Yes,
Yeah, Amy shouldn't be in it.
that was a joke. You just can't.
Wow.
August 27th was the last day. When the guest speaker came, he would sit and eat dinner with Beth Markell. Listen to that. I thought sometimes.
Okay. Then we went to the teepee.
They're nice. They are. They're very nice.
Danny, who is this guy?
You'll have a black soda.
Brooks.
Jim.
This is like what you have in the basement that I gave you.
Your mom schooled him, didn't she?
Oh, she taunted him. So now we're getting ready to go up the hill to the dining hall where we were met by one Beth Markell.
Yeah, the top of the hill.
Yep. And a wet Jim Olsen.
I think the boys were still cold.
So we went into Dad's old office.
Oh, cool.
There's now a boardroom.
Cool.
Woodlands. Okay, now we're going into the Woodlands dining room and the kitchen.
I've been in that office.
Oh yeah. We got
Oh, what a cute picture.
Dining pleasure tonight. The chef is prepared. Still smells the same.
No Hobart.
It does.
The Hobart's gone. But
yeah.
is that the refrigerator back there?
Yes.
The freezer?
I have no idea
That's where Donnie and Tracy work. That's where Donnie and Tracy learned to work. That's
Where they learned to work. That's where you learned to work, Don. Look at that.
Here we're somehow floating.
Oh, what a great shot.
Yeah.
This
awesome.
is it. You just that is. This is it. Yeah. No. So.
All right, that shot made me cry.
I couldn't be more proud to show those videos and pictures for the first time with the people that made that happen.